This video covers ancient Chinese history. This video describes 5 important topics during the Han Dynasty, and in particular, their many inventions and discoveries during this period of prosperity. The 5 topics in this video include the beginnings of the Han Dynasty, advances in warfare, advances in agriculture, advances in medicine, and advances in science. Topic number 1, the beginnings of the Han Dynasty. The Han Dynasty was a successful period for China that lasted from 206 BCE to 220 CE. This was roughly at the same time period as the Roman Empire in Europe, to give you some context. The Han Dynasty started because the Chinese were unhappy with the strict rule of the Qin Dynasty. After Shi Huangdi's death, the people rebelled against the Qin Dynasty. Liu Bang and his rebel followers gained control of the Han Kingdom, and they conquered the Qin. China had a golden age during the Han period. Remember, this means a long period of stability and wealth. At its zenith, the Han Dynasty included parts of Central Asia, Korea, and Vietnam. Topic number 2 is Han warfare. The Han made numerous advances in warfare technology and strategy. Iron workers produced fish-scale armor that moved with the body. The Han were one of the first civilizations to make swords from iron. They also made the world's first crossbow. In addition, the Han invented the kite and used it for military purposes. There was a legend that an army once used a kite to measure the width of a wall so they could attack it or dig under it. Kites were also used to send messages or to scare the enemy. Soldiers would add bamboo pipes to the kites so that the enemy would hear noises above them and they would think it was a ghost. Topic number 3 is Han agriculture. Farmers had to grow crops and even had to have a surplus of food if possible. Additionally, farmers had to make their own clothes and to build their own dwellings to live in. If that wasn't enough, they would have to work for free for the government to build canals, walls, and roads. They would have to do this for a month, and it was like a tax. The Chinese invented the chain pump to make life easier in farming. The chain pump allowed the movement of water from water sources up to the fields above. The Han Chinese also made iron plows. This made field work much easier. Lastly, the Han invented the wheelbarrow. The Chinese wheelbarrow helped to carry things. People no longer had to carry things by hand, or at least they could use the wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Topic number 4 is Chinese advances in medicine. Chinese doctors believed that when yin and yang were out of balance, that illness would occur. People needed to have these forces in balance to be healthy. This was similar to the Western medicine that once believed that if 4 humors were out of balance, one would get ill. Acupuncture was one technique to bring these forces into balance, the forces of yin and yang. Acupuncture uses thin needles that are inserted into particular parts of the body to balance yin and yang. A second healing option was moxibustion. In this method, a cone of powdered leaves or sticks was placed on or near the skin and burned. The heat supposedly reduced pain and perhaps promoted healing. Lastly, the Han discovered that blood circulates from the heart to other parts of the body. The last topic is advances that the Han made in science. The Han Chinese kept records of comets in the night sky. Additionally, the Han also learned that solar eclipses happened when the moon blocks the sun. 2 important scientific instruments that the Chinese invented during this time were the compass and the seismograph. The Chinese believed in the concept called feng shui. This meant that knowing the geographic position for their temples, graves, and homes would bring them good luck. By the 200s, Chinese scientists understood that a lodestone aligns itself with the north-south direction of the earth because of its magnetism. So they used this phenomenon to make compasses. A seismograph is an instrument for detecting earthquakes. This was invented by the Chinese astronomers in 132 CE. The first Chinese seismographs used balls that, when knocked out of place, would indicate if an earthquake had happened. As you can see, the Chinese invented many useful inventions and helped make the world a better place during the Middle Ages. If you're interested in more Chinese history, please check out my channel. I also have many videos on other historical topics in ancient and medieval history. Please share my content with someone who might find it useful.